Welcome at Pizza and More. This time we make something really special. We make a Bavarian pizza. Yeah, I'm Jürgen and we make together a so-called Brizza. The Brizza is a mixture between pizza and pretzel. But we don't brush only the crust of a normal pizza dough with, I have to have a look how this is called, Caustic Soda. We will make a real pretzel, Bavarian pretzel dough, which tastes totally different than a normal pizza dough. The effort to make it is almost the same. It's also not difficult, but the taste is totally different. So the taste is like a normal Bavarian pretzel is. Of course, you could use this dough then afterwards also to make pretzels or to make rolls. We will use in our recipe is a good word. You don't have to note everything down as in each other videos as well. The whole recipe and the whole procedure is in the video description. We are also using a very little amount of Lievito Madre. If you don't have a Lievito Madre, it doesn't matter. You also can replace the Lievito Madre with yeast. But if you want to breed your own Lievito Madre, then please have a look at this video because there I show how this is made. If you don't have a caustic soda at home, I had originally no at home. I bought it simply at Amazon. If you use caustic soda, then you have to be a bit careful because this attacks a bit your skin. So it's really recommended to wear these protection glasses and also to wear plastic gloves. The base we use is Obazder. You may not know what Obazder is. Obazder is a cheese cream made from camembert, made from creamy cheese and some herbs. Luckily, I can buy Obazder in the supermarket and I did it. But if you don't have the possibility to buy Obazder or you don't know Obazder, then please have a look also in the video description. There is the recipe for it. As topping on our Brizza, we will add additional to the Obazder some mountain cheese. I hope this is the right impression as well. We call it in German Bergkäse, so mountain cheese, the direct translation. You can also use Emmentaler, so Swiss cheese from Switzerland. And we add some onions. We add Bavarian white sausages, so Weißwürste. And we add after baking then some sweet mustard and some Chives. The total leavening time of our dough will be 24 hours. And because we have only 24 hours, I would recommend to use a flour with a medium baking strength. So the flour I use is a Typo 00 flour with 13% of protein and a W value of 280 to 300. And now I would say we start with the pretzel dough. The ingredients we need for our dough are 500 grams of Typo 00 flour. I have 15 grams of fine sea salt, 280 grams of milk. This is low-fat milk. You can also use a normal milk. This is 40 grams of lard. You also could use butter. There I have 10 grams of my Lievito Madre and I have 6 grams of fresh yeast. You also could use 2 grams dry yeast. For creating the dough we start with the milk. Then we pour the flour into the bowl. We add the Lievito Madre. Then the yeast, the lard or the butter. And then we start mixing for around 5 minutes and then we add the salt. After 5 minutes mixing, we can add the salt. And then we continue kneading for around additional 15 minutes and we knead until the window test works. And now after a while, I think it was really 20 minutes, the dough seems to be ready, and now I try to make the window test. However, this window test might be a bit more difficult than normal because we have a very low hydration. This means also you can see it's not required to cover the fingers with olive oil or water. The dough simply doesn't stick. So I take a piece of dough, I shape a ball, and then I try to stretch the dough. And if this is possible to stretch it very thin, then the window test works and we can take the dough out, and you see it works really. Then we can take the dough now out of the mixer onto our counter. And then the same as with the pizza dough as well, but it's a bit more difficult with this dough because it's that dry. We shape a nice ball. Therefore, I do like stretch and fold. I try to fold it over and then to do this several times to shape here a nice ball. And when the ball is okay, it's not required to have the same structure like with a pizza dough. Then I take the dough, put it into a container, and of course it's also here required to close the lid. And then we let it rest at room temperature for 2 hours. After 2 hours we shape now the balls. I would like to say the pizza balls, but it's not pizza balls, it's the Brizza balls. Shaping the balls works almost exactly like shaping normal pizza balls. As you can see, the dough already developed fantastically. It's almost doubled the size. We can take it out. The dough is not sticking due to the low hydration we have, but now we divide the dough into 3 pieces, and I think each piece will have 280 to 290 grams. Shaping the dough balls is a bit more difficult than with normal pizza dough because it's a bit harder, this dough, but nevertheless we let the side which was during the leavening also on top, we leave this on top because this helps us to get a nice surface. But generally speaking, we do it exactly the same like with a normal pizza dough, which means we bring all the dough from the side towards the bottom and towards the center, and here we push everything inside of the dough ball. And when we already have a nice surface, then it's important again to close the bottom properly, and then the first dough ball is ready. And after we shape the 3 balls, of course it's the same important as with pizza dough, we close the lid of the box. Now we put the box directly into the fridge and we let it in the fridge until 6 to 4 hours before we bake our Brizza. Reason is the dough shouldn't be too cold because we have a relative low hydration, and therefore the dough is a bit more hard than a normal pizza dough, and therefore it's very difficult to stretch it without damaging it if the dough is too cold. 6 hours ago I took the dough out of the fridge and the balls rose fantastically. You will see it in a minute. All other toppings are also prepared, and of course I preheated the oven to 320 degrees Celsius. And something what I said already earlier, what is very important, please wear glasses to protect your eyes and use gummy gloves or plastic gloves to protect your hands. Here you can see now these dough balloons. We take them out in the same way like we take out normally our pizza balls. We use semolina. Then we release the balls from each other, and then we take this ball out and put it into a semolina bed. And then, as with the pizza balls as well, we close the lid from the box so that the remaining dough balls can't dry out. Then we flip this dough ball several times in the semolina. Then we take it out and then we shape it in the same way like we shape a Neapolitan pizza. We start in the center and pressing the air towards the crust. Here shaping the Brizza is a little bit harder because the dough is simply more dry. The first we add is then the Obazder. And you can see I put nothing onto the crust. As next, some fresh grated cheese. As I said, this is so-called mountain cheese. As next, we can add the white sausages. You can see I removed the peel and I cut it into slices. Then some onions. You see I have here red onions. And here comes now our Brizza out of the oven. And then, as I said, we add some sweet mustard and we add some fresh cutted chives. And then of course we directly cut into it. And you can see also pretzel dough, it's possible to have lots of big air pockets in it. By the way, if you want to have some salt on your crust, like it's common in Bavaria on pretzels, then before baking, add some salt, because this sticks before baking. I don't like the salt, that's the reason why I have not used one. But, however, I try now, I taste it right now, and you can believe me, it smells fantastically. At first I taste the center, and you can believe me, I like it, I love it. And now I taste the crust. Yeah, the crust tastes like a Bavarian pretzel has to taste. It is fantastic. It is very, very delicious. If you like my video, it would be fantastic if you would subscribe my channel. And then we see us also in the next video. Ciao.